Many of us have been watching as the $50 million defamation lawsuit between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard unravels, and sometimes there's so much going on it can be hard to keep up. Today we are going to go through both the current trial as well as past legal proceedings that relate to this case, as we cover the top 10 times Amber Heard got caught lying during trial. Starting off in our number 10 spot, we have Back in Time. For a second to start off with, we are going to take a step out of this ongoing trial and talk about something that happened back in 2009. During this time, Amber Heard was actually arrested and charged with hitting her then partner Tazia Van Ree. In the end, the charges were dropped, but this isn't where the lie comes in. The pair tried to claim that the only reason Heard was arrested was because the arresting police officer had realized that they were partners, not friends, and that the arrest motive was homophobia and prejudice. It was later found out that the officer who had arrested Heard was in fact part of the LGBTQIA+ community herself, and was actually an advocate and person who fought for equal rights. The officer spoke out after this entire ordeal, saying that despite these claims against her, she arrested Amber because an assault occurred and that she was the one who witnessed it in the first place. In our number 9 spot today, we have the bed. This is an incident that we had definitely heard stories of prior to this currently ongoing trial, but during the trial we heard it spoken about more in depth. Basically, Johnny and Amber had an argument, after which Depp had left to give some space. This is when it is said that Johnny's housekeeper sent him a photo of a less than pleasant surprise that she unfortunately was left to deal with. This horrible surprise turned out to be that someone had left fecal matter in the bed that the two had shared together. Depp told the courtroom in reference to the incident that, quote, "My initial response to that was, I laughed." He then went on to say, quote, "It was so outside, it was so bizarre and so grotesque that I could only laugh." He then goes on to explain that Amber had actually tried to lie about the incident, and in the 2020 trial, which we'll talk more about, she denied doing this. Amber is said to have tried to blame this mess on their dogs, but during this trial, Johnny has explained that the dogs they had were teacup Yorkies, about 4 pounds each. He certainly knows what their mess would look like, and according to Johnny, what was on the bed was not it. In our number 8 spot today, we have the makeup kit. During this currently ongoing trial, Amber Heard's lawyer showed the jury a makeup palette as part of their evidence. The makeup palette in question was Milani's all-in-one correcting kit, and the reason it was introduced into the trial is because it was stated that Amber used this specific product during her marriage in order to cover the bruises that she claims he gave her. Since this statement was made in court, Milani Cosmetics has actually come forward in the form of a TikTok to refute that evidence. The TikTok posted by the brand pointed out that this specified product was in fact not even released until 2017, which would contradict the evidence. This is because the alleged that this product was said to be covering up is said to have taken place between 2012 and 2016, which is obviously before the product was introduced to the market. It is possible that the lawyer may have just been pointing out this product as an example of the type of product she used, but it was definitely not this product as they seem to have claimed. In our number 7 spot today, we have Australia. So this is a claim that Amber made about a time that her and Johnny were in Australia together. Amber claimed that during this time she was held like a hostage for 3 days, and during these days she said she came to harm multiple times. Despite these very serious allegations, it later came to light that during this hostage situation she claims to have been in, she not only had her cell phone, but also there was security just outside of the door. She testified that she could have called anybody to come and get her at any point if she wanted to, despite previously saying those very serious things that she had mentioned prior. It is said that Amber claimed that on the second day of this 3-day hostage situation, which would have been March 7th, she endured a series of hours-long assaults. But despite these claims, on that day there were several people at the house speaking with both of them, including medical professionals who of course recorded no such findings. In our number 6 spot today, we have the recording. During trial, Amber claimed that she only hit Johnny Depp once and that she did so in defense of her sister. It is said that this alleged incident occurred in March of 2015, which is after the Australia incident we just spoke about. So during trial, there has been a series of audio recordings that have been submitted as evidence. evidence. Many of these recordings were taken by both parties consensually, and this is said to have been a regular occurrence in their relationship. On one of these recordings, which was taken in September of 2015, Amber clearly admits to hitting Johnny, which is of course contrary to her statement saying she only hit him once in defense of her sister. Of course, Amber's sister Whitney was asked about this event, and Whitney backed up the claims made by Amber. This was again refuted by a declaration made by Whitney's best friend and former employer, Jennifer Howell, who claimed that at the time when this incident is said to have occurred, that Whitney had actually told her that Amber was abusing Johnny and that she feared Amber would kill him. Jennifer also stated that Whitney had actually moved in with her at one point because she was so afraid of her own sister. In our number 5 spot today, we have the December 2015 claims. Back in December of 2015, Amber claimed that she suffered 2 black eyes, a broken nose, broken lip, bruised ribs, bruises on her forearms, bruises in her hairline, scalp, and chin, missing hair, and wounds that had pus in them. These are obviously some serious injuries, and on the 17th, just days later, it is said that she saw 2 separate nurses who gave her physical examinations. During both of these exams, neither nurse found any bruise, either fresh or healing. One of the 2 found a bleeding lip, but the nurse's notes claimed that the skin was intact, it was a normal color, and there was no sort of concussion. These medical notes obviously paint quite a different picture from the extensive injuries she claims to have received. In our number 4 spot today, we have the Psychologist. Just a few days ago, during the trial, we heard a forensic psychologist testify named Dr. Shannon Curry, who was hired by Depp's legal team. During this testimony, she claimed that Amber Heard suffers from borderline personality disorder as well as histrionic personality disorder. Dr. Curry is said to have reached this diagnosis after interviewing Heard for 12 hours as well as after reviewing her mental health records. Now, while there's certainly nothing wrong with this diagnosis, this is where Dr. Curry's testimony brings up something that is in contrast to what Heard had previously claimed. Amber is said to have claimed to suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD, as a result of the things that she endured over the course of her relationship with Johnny Depp. Dr. Curry, however, directly contradicted this in her testimony, where she claimed that Heard in fact does not suffer from PTSD. It is thought that Depp's team hopes that this testimony may help their contention that Heard was the aggressor during the couple's relationship. In our number 3 spot today, we have The Story. This entire list is full of really serious things and really serious accusations, and this one is certainly high up on the list of the most serious things we're talking about today. This is actually something that came out in court during the trial that took place in 2020. During this trial, Amber Heard's former assistant Kate James came forward to tell quite a terrible tale. James explained that years ago, when she was in her 20s, she experienced a horrible sexual assault that has haunted her ever since. It's already a terrible story, but was even furthered when Kate explained, quote, "To my utter shock and dismay, I discovered that Miss Heard had in fact stolen my sexual violence conversation with her and twisted it into her own story to benefit herself. This of course caused me extreme distress and outrage that she would dare to attempt to use the most harrowing experience of my life as her own narrative." It was during this trial that Kate explained that although she had been subpoenaed to give evidence, she was doing so because she is, quote, "a sexual violence survivor, and it's very serious to take that stance if you are not one." This was the trial that Depp had brought forth against The Sun for publishing the op-ed written by Heard, and it was at that moment during the trial that the lawyer representing The Sun discontinued their cross-examination of Kate. In our number 2 spot today, we have the LAPD testimony. Just a few days in court, we saw Los Angeles police officer Melissa Sain's testimony. This officer had been one of those who responded on May 21st, 2016 to Amber's penthouse after there was a call regarding DV. The officer testified that when she arrived at the scene, she found Amber crying and that her face was flushed red with emotion, but she explained that she didn't necessarily see any injuries. During the video deposition, the officer explained that, quote, "We met with the victim, we checked the location, the husband wasn't there, and that the victim advised us that she had just had an argument, and that she wasn't going to give us any further information. And because we didn't identify a crime, we issued her a business card, let her know that she could reach out to us later if she changed her mind and wanted to cooperate. It was just later that month, after this 2016 incident, that Heard filed a restraining order against Depp, accusing him of being violent towards her. In our number 1 spot today, we have the settlement. It is said that on multiple occasions, Amber claimed that the fund she received from her divorce settlements were funds that she would entirely be donating to charity. She is said to have claimed this on TV, in various newspaper articles, and even on court statements that were signed under oath. This was directly disproven, however, as that simply is just not true. Of course, being caught in this lie, especially one she spoke about while under oath, she was questioned about it. Amber claimed that she was unable to fulfill her pledge because of the fact that she had to defend herself in court in this defamation lawsuit, but again, this was able to be disproven. The money that was donated is said to have been done so in increments, with the last payment being in February of 2018. Johnny Depp did not sue Amber until 2019, marking the discontinuation of these payments at a time before she was being sued by Depp. At this point, it is unclear if she initially lied about her intentions and the amount she was going to donate, or if she was just lying about the reason why she stopped the payments. Alright guys, that has been our list for today. Thanks so much for checking it out. I'll see you maybe sometime soon. Bye!